Terry, you ready?
Fake it till you make it, baby. CMO.
So what does the time thing do? Is that for the audio?
So all the cameras match audio and video. So when you go to put it into the editor, it's very easy to match it all up. So you don't have to manually match it up yourself. It helps you edit much faster and more precisely.
Cool.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of In the Driver's Seat with ABS. The three of us are...
We did it.
We did it. Our third Audrain Newport Concours and Motor Week just finished.
And Sean and I just finished all the trash today.
We literally just finished.
You guys picked up all the trash around town.
Trash boys.
That's my guy right there.
I missed out on that one.
Missed out on trash.
I did miss out on that. But I think that this event was the best out of all 3 years. The three of us have been here since the beginning, so the three of us have really seen how much the Concours and the Motor Week and all the events that we put together at all the different locations around town has really grown.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you guys. I feel like I was a lot more confident going into this year. I wasn't as nervous as I was in the previous years, and I think that we were able to offer a great event and a lot of awesome activities to the people of Newport and all the people that came, the entrants and the participants and all of the people that paid for tickets, all the people that went to the free events. We put on a show that was incredible. I mean, it's like the Super Bowl for the three of us.
Yeah. And you see, when you do you learn every year what you can improve upon, and I think last year was a great success as well, but there were certain little things, not there weren't little things this year, but there were certain little things last year that we learned from, and going into this year and just seeing those little things be done was such a weight off of our shoulders.
I think we were ahead of the curve this year.
We were ahead of the curve.
Certainly, with everything.
Until the rain.
Until the rain.
But we will talk about that in a little bit. But we adapted, and I think we were able to still provide a great experience. Of course, we weren't able to hold Cars and Coffee, but the tour still commenced, and there's about 80 plus cars in the rain, which was incredible to see. And of course, the Concours still happened on Sunday morning, and it was a phenomenal turnout in the cars. I know Nick Waller was telling me ahead of time how incredible the cars are going to be this year, but I wasn't prepared.
You're never. It's so hard to mentally grasp at what level these cars are at, and for us, we're working, and to me, I treat them throughout the whole year as numbers on a spreadsheet. It becomes such an incredible distraction seeing the best cars in the world right in front of you, and
In Rhode Island,
on the roads of Rhode Island in the pouring rain at that. Well, and it's one of those things where you know that they're only there for 4 days, and you just can't properly show them the appreciation they deserve. So
it's nuts. Yeah,
it was remarkable to see those cars.
Seeing I forget the name of the class, but it was like the European, had the Alpha 8C, it had the Rob Kalfin's Bugatti,
European Sports.
It was like Europeans. I mean, every one of those cars was like that. I was, when I first saw that class, I literally stopped. I was like, wait a minute. That class was, not that the other classes weren't incredible, but that one was like.
And these guys are so dedicated. I mean, the 8C, I don't remember where that came from, but the
Bentley
Speed 6 that came from Europe. It's like these guys are dedicated. They're coming to do the thing, and I think both of those, the 8C and the Speed 6, did the tour in the rain, and they finished out the weekend strong. And
it's a big deal.
It's just great to see their owners being that enthused and being that committed to doing the whole weekend in full.
Well, I think to start it off on Thursday, the Motor Village opened, so that's free to the public. I think this is the best that the Motor Village has ever looked.
It was killer.
It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
full of cars. There was a bunch of vendors.
Sean and I actually put together a display in the back. If anyone got to the back area, we had a
member
kind of a
cars,
yeah,
docent
friends
cars.
of Audrain, members,
Yeah, and
volunteers.
some really cool cars.
It was a gaggly bunch of things, but
Yeah.
the whole theme was these are people who continually support us and help us out,
Yeah.
and it was a nice way to pull people into the back of the village.
And it was on theme too with the Young Timers exhibit that we have
Yep.
in the museum. A lot of the cars that were in that portion of the village were all 80s, 90s, early 2000s stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
So I really think that if we were sticking to a theme, we did a really good job of sticking to that theme this year, even with the eBay motor cars that were in the middle of the village
Yeah,
there.
they provided some great stuff too.
Yeah.
That 968 Club Sport is like
That and then that 914.
Oh, that was a
that thing
good one,
was
too.
so loud. I
Yeah.
think that was my favorite car in the village.
Mhm.
And on Friday, the gathering was spectacular.
I couldn't believe.
I
how
just
many
want to
people
say
there.
I haven't been to the Bridge, which is a comparable event. I did go to the Quail. I've been to other
Yep.
events like this. I think I'm biased, but I think the Gathering was the car party of the year.
Oh,
at least
100%.
in this country. I'm not going to
100%.
say in the whole world, but
Yeah, we had our 904 out.
904 was out. Mr. Doug Cohen brought us Koenigsegg.
Yeah.
We had
Lee
the
Hauer
Charger.
brought 2 cars. The
Yeah,
Big Man
the Big
RSR.
Man, yeah.
Andy brought his 355R car. We had cars from Ernie Bach. We had a 22B from my friend Ben.
Cadillac had a huge presence.
Cadillac had a huge presence with the GTP hypercar. It was just, and it's one of those things where, you talk about the growth, and this event continues to grow, and people continue to, understand who we are and what we do. Last year, I think it was about 3 o'clock, 3:30. It's like there's seminars going on. There's other things happening. So it's
Yeah.
not like you're tied to the gathering all day. You can go in and out. This year at 5 o'clock, the event was packed, and
Still
they had to
packed.
make
Yeah,
an announcement
yeah.
saying, "I'm sorry, the gates are closed.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining
yeah.
us. See you next year." And it was a full event. People would have stayed there for 6
People
more
were showing
hours.
up on the trolleys at 4:30.
Yeah.
It was
And you and I
awesome.
were like,
It was
this
crazy.
is nuts.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it-
yeah.
and I just couldn't believe the volume of people that were
It
there.
was
I mean, I
that-
can believe it because I know the level
I
of
wish.
event,
I
but
just wish that with the music they play and the drinks that are flowing and the food that they serve. Like, I wish every day of my life could be like I'm walking around and it's like you get that nice music. It just keeps your brain flowing.
and you're on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
beautiful
Oh my
yeah,
god!
and the Delahaye right on the rocks, like
Ah,
overlooking the
That's
water.
that
No,
was
I mean that was perfect placement.
The whole, and last year we had 80 cars on the field.
hmm
We weren't allowed to use as much of the field. So
It was so full this year.
It was
Looked
so we had
amazing.
110 cars. We had more space to use. Rumor has it we'll have more space next year.
We're just gonna take over it.
I'm gonna just
Knock
say if
knock
we,
the building
we're-
down.
yeah.
Doris,
Yeah, just knock the building down. No problem. No problem.
Doris would not be pleased. Her car is sitting right here, so maybe we shouldn't be talking about.
Yeah, sorry, I
doing
was
that.
kidding.
Ghost of Doris will not be. There is a Ghost of Doris, by the way, in case you
Yeah, don't be near
the
the
gathering was
don't
so
be near
crazy.
the gate.
And the weather was
Um,
perfect.
weather
I mean,
was
you
perfect.
couldn't have asked for a better.
No.
Yeah.
That was the I wish I was I keep telling everybody I wish I could have attended the event because being one of the folks who runs the event, it's like
You don't get
you're-
to you don't get to enjoy it. as
yeah,
much.
and it's like
Yeah.
I enjoy the part I enjoy is seeing everybody happy and having fun
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
what we do it for, and everyone was just absolutely thrilled, and guys like Doug Cohen and other folks in his realm who spend time in Miami, who spend time in Los Angeles, they go to Pebble year after year. It's guys like that are telling us like, look, this is really legit. Like I
Yeah.
hope you guys,
Yeah.
he's telling us. I hope you take a step back and understand what you just did because
Well,
it's global now.
An event like ours or the gathering or the Concours, it must be huge for guys like Doug who are Rhode Island natives and grew
Yeah.
up here to have this world-class car event in their backyard. I mean, he's someone who ships cars out to Pebble. He
Mhm.
ships cars out to Europe. He does all these incredible events.
Mhm.
But to have his cars here in Rhode Island, and he can just go to Park Place and he can drive whatever he wants to whatever event. I mean, I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
As
Yep.
someone who's from Rhode Island,
Mhm.
I would be honored if I was.
He brought
in
his Koenigsegg
their
CCX
position.
this year. I told him we got to go crazy next year. Like I want to see something nuts, and he was like, "No
The
problem." No problem.
Countach.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Um,
But it was Friday was a day.
yeah.
But then the rain.
Yeah, then the rain
A
came.
little rain situation, but nothing we can't handle, right?
No.
I think the biggest thing was we knew it was going to rain, but we didn't realize.
How much it was going to rain.
Well, what that was going to look like. We had a grasp for the village. I have a feeling we had a good plan. We had a good grasp. Mm-hmm. But then the breakers was kind of the wild card.
Yeah, we got to Saturday and we're having the tour. Cars and Coffee's canceled, which obviously is kind of my thing, and that was
well, it was sad because this event brings like 1,000 cars.
Yeah, and that's what brings everybody to town, and it's like that's where
Well, what can you do? I mean, it's just gonna make it that next year's Cars and Coffee that much better.
Yeah, we're gonna kill it next year. But Saturday morning comes around, we do the tour. It was great. We park all the cars on Bellevue. A lot of people. Dude, we had 80 cars in the tour.
Nuts.
We had 80 cars.
I forgot to tell you guys. I was. I forget where. I don't remember what I was doing. I think. What was that? Saturday morning.
The tour?
Tour was Saturday morning.
Yeah, sorry. It's been...
Sean was at the beach.
I was at the beach. No, you know what I was doing? Roger and I were picking up... I was transporting cars that were acquired at the Bonhams auction. Mm-hmm. And I was on Indian Avenue because we had to get something for my house. I can't remember what it was. And I just so happened to drive by the tour. Like, I drove by you guys. And to see what was so cool, it was pouring rain. You see, the Bentley Blue Train. You see
that car's awesome.
That is the most. I think real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. That Bentley Blue Train. If we can get a picture of it.
That was my high school background on my computer.
That is the most beautiful car I've ever seen in my life.
It's not.
Like, it's not even close. The fenders, the slits, just the window visors. It's
cool
perfect.
Car. I mean, I'm telling you, that was my computer background. But you see all these. You see the Alpha. You see Jay in the Gullwing. You see the SL. You see all the cars you see, but then you see, the BMW M3, you see the 944s.
Yeah.
The BMW 1M.
Oh, the 1M.
M1.
M1, yeah.
Did you
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But it was just so cool to see that. I wasn't sure because at that point I didn't know what cars were going to be on the tour, and it just kept going, kept going. There was the AC.
Well, the guy with the Duesenberg.
There was a guy, the Alan Chase Duesenberg, which ended up winning its class. And there was also open top cars. The
little Cooper,
red Cooper.
The little Cooper. There was a Bentley.
So people were they don't mess around with these events, and that's what I love to see.
It's commitment.
But then they ended. From what I understand, they ended at the breakers, right? The tour.
No, the tour. They ended on Bellevue.
Okay.
And parked on Bellevue, and it was.
Some cars went to the breakers because drivers saw the condition of the breakers. Is that right?
Yeah, we made an announcement at the driver's lunch at LaForge while the cars were parked that we weren't going to be loading on. So 2 o'clock happens, and 2 o'clock comes around, and we clear off Bellevue. And Sean actually called me, said, "Hey, we have a car in the Bonhams area that was used for a seminar. Can you bring it to Park Place?"
Yes.
And at that moment, we're not loading in the breakers. There's no...
That was when I was wrapping up at Bonhams. It was about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so you're at Bonhams, and I'm like, okay, so me and Henry, shout out Henry, my guy, all right? I won't say it, but he's my guy. We get in this car and run it to Park Place. And at that point, Ben calls me, and he's like, "We got a problem." I'm like, "What's the problem?" He's like, "Just get to the breakers. Get the boys, get to the breakers." And now it's like 2:33.
Shortly after that, Ben calls me. "Where are you?" I said, "I just."
This is when it's like, what is going on? Yeah. He wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
So I ended up I had to send the boys over. Anthony, Steve, Louie, Fafinski, all the boys went over to the breakers, and I had to drive a VIP around and show him something that he wanted to see. So then I finished with this gentleman, drop him off, and I call Ben. He's like, "Yeah, get your ass to the breakers." And then I call Louie. I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "Well, I'm told we just ordered 600 sheets of plywood, and we're going to build a road." Mm-hmm. It's like, we're going to what?
And that was around the time.
Now it's about 4
o'clock. Roger and I were wrapping up at the Bonham stuff, and Ben's like, come to the breakers. So Roger and I hustle over there. And you know me, I'm like,
if you know me, if we can find that picture of Patrick and he's like building a house and he's got the hammer and like nails in like his head, like that's me.
Well, you also you know me. For those who know me, know I'm an optimist.
Yeah. I am too. I try to be.
Like I'm no problem.
No problem.
That's what I'm like. I'm Mr. No Problem. It's no problem.
No problem.
And we get there, Roger and I, and Ben was staying there, and Ben and I looked at each other and we go, "We have a problem." That's how bad
I have never
the mud
seen
was.
a piece of grass like that.
It was about 6. For those who don't realize, who
We'll
aren't
show pictures
familiar
of it.
with the breakers
Yeah.
and how we enter the cars, is there's a side street to the breakers, a side entrance, and that's how we get all the cars onto the field. There's about, what did you say, 350 yards? How far would
Maybe,
you say?
yeah.
Yeah.
About 350
Yeah.
yards
Yep.
of grass to get to the big
Yeah.
backyard, the
Maybe a
big
little less,
field.
but
maybe
yeah.
a little less.
Yeah,
Give you an
it's
idea.
a
I don't know.
bunch of
I'm not good
grass.
at math.
Yeah.
And that entire 350 or so yards, whatever it was mud ruts like you had
Deep,
never seen in your entire
thick.
life.
Gross.
I mean, we walked.
It was like
So Ben goes,
torrential.
we're building a
Nowhere
road.
less than torrential.
Yeah, Ben goes, we're going to build a road. We're going to get this done.
Ben Mercer.
So I said, yeah, Ben Mercer. We said, Roger, we said, no problem. We just got to go change. So, Roger and I went back, got the appropriate apparel, and
I
by
had
the
to have
time,
my mommy run my Timbs over.
yeah, by the time we got back, the
Thanks,
wood was
Mom.
starting to arrive, and that was about, I don't know, 6:30.
6 o'clock, the stuff starts coming in.
Wood started to arrive.
J2 Construction, Parker Construction,
Dayponts.
Dayponts Landscaping, and The Boys with a trademark.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
Like 8 of us.
Yeah, there's about 8 of us, and then the about 15 or so workers,
Yeah.
and we, our masterful minds, mainly the J2 construction guys and
Yeah.
Louis, came
Yeah,
up
Louis,
with
our
a plan.
engineer, in-house engineer.
Came up with a plan of how the road was going to commence and how we were going to be able to put on the show, because if there was no option, this was the only way. Cars were not going down.
No.
There was no
no
other
show.
way in.
At 5 p.m., there was no show.
There was no other
Like
way in.
Yeah.
And the only way in was if you ever seen old videos of the Camel Trophy, the Defenders driving through Africa,
It's
literally what it
was
looked
that
like.
bad.
Maybe
There were
Sam could find a
box
clip.
truck
Wow.
diesel dualies that were just
Yeah.
getting stuck. No.
We had 2 forklifts, essentially getting these trucks out. So the plan was devised and we committed to it. And the mud was flattened out with some machines. Tarp was laid. Then we had 2x4s, 36 inches wide, 4 of them along the tarp. Then we drilled down the sheets of plywood all the way to the end, about that 300 or so yards, and we had to build a little ramp at the end because of course a lot of these cars are very
Mhm.
low, and in the beginning as well. And then from there we built another road essentially within that larger structure,
Yeah.
so that
absurd.
the cars could.
That's what saved us.
That's what saved
It
us.
was a thicker sheet of like veneer
Yeah.
that sat on top of this normal plywood, and
All the cars went down
I
the-
was I was sent home at like 10:30, and apparently an hour, maybe 2 hours later, Ben Mercer took. You're loaded up Denali.
Oh
with
no!
all-
This was at like 2 in the morning.
Oh, this is
we
2 in
did
the
that.
morning.
Yeah.
with all the liquor in it,
Yeah.
and drove down the road.
Wow.
And apparently the whole thing cracked and settled. And
Sounded like someone who really needed to go to a chiropractor.
really?
Yeah, I mean, I drove down it, so we had my Denali probably weighed 10,000 pounds
Yeah.
at that point with all the liquor.
Yeah.
And we slowly went down it about a few times to try and get it to settle.
Yeah.
And it was snapping, cracking, but the wood wasn't. It was just settling into the mud.
Yeah.
And then another issue we had was along, the field was so packed, we had to have classes on
Yeah.
on the areas along
Yeah.
the road that were
Yeah.
very muddy.
And
So we had probably around 1 we started building out the areas that the classes were in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the road was done, but we had to make sure because there's nowhere to put these cars.
Yeah.
Um,
And another thing was we had Cadillac there as a major sponsor of the event.
Yeah.
And they were right off to the side there, and they were kind of like, we're
What are
kind
we
of
gonna
off
do?
in the mud here. What are we going
Yeah.
to do? And we tapped in
Yeah, that
Michael
was you,
Simcoe,
yeah.
and on late at night we decided, well, we were going to kind of change it up. And we told Michael Simcoe the day of, he's like, why don't we put your cars right on the stage? Like
Yeah.
until the award ceremony. So we had the Cadillac Escalade V
Yep.
and the Cadillac 31 V16.
Yeah, they brought
Yeah,
they were like, we're not
That
bringing
was-
the
that was
V6.
very
Remember the
cool.
night when we were building the road? They were like, we're not bringing the V16.
Yeah, and we were like,
We're like, come on.
yeah.
And
we
Ben
need
was
that
like
car.
dying because that's
Yeah,
Ben
that's Ben's
Mercer's
favorite
favorite car. And like, maybe 11 o'clock. What do I see coming down the road?
Yeah, a.m., 11 a.m. Here
Yeah.
comes the V16, like, you know.
So that ended, we finished around like 3 o'clock, the road, building out the sides for the classes. And, you know, at that point, we're committed to it. So come 6 o'clock, the car started rolling in.
I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked. And it worked.
It
and
worked.
It's like it
We
held
were all
up
worried.
on the way in and the way out. And we didn't think it would hold up for, you know, a few Duesenbergs. It was like good.
Yeah, it
Well,
worked.
when I got to...
Yeah, what was your impression when you got there? Because you were working the gala.
It almost
Yeah.
seemed seamless. Like
So-
you woke up, it was just like there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was filming the gala the night before, so I didn't make it to
How nice.
to the No
How
Problem
was the
Boulevard.
food?
Yeah, we called it No Problem
Yeah,
Boulevard.
no problem,
Problem
Boulevard.
Boulevard,
I have an
so-
apartment there now.
So when I arrived, I saw that you guys were doing something, but honestly, I didn't really pay attention to it because I was doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I
Dancing and drinking.
no
and
filming,
Having a great time.
no filming,
No problem.
no problem. So when I got to the breakers in the morning, I saw that there was in like our group chat there was like machinery and stuff. But I was
like you come around the corner and you saw like the beginning
I
of the
came
bridge.
around the corner and I saw some wood laid down, and then I walked to the front of it and I looked from the start all the way to the end, and my jaw literally hit the floor. I was shocked.
It's so crazy to think about.
It was nuts. It was like the most crazy thing.
Because
I've ever
I
done.
saw that you guys were
It was-
working,
yeah.
but I didn't really grasp what was happening.
I was there
till I
for a
saw
lot of
it.
it and did not believe the scale of what was going
Roger
on.
probably drilled, I'm not even kidding, 5,000 screws.
Well, tell
I'm
us.
not
I swear to
for
God.
those who don't know, tell us who Roger
Well,
is.
Roger, yeah, I've talked to him about him in previous podcasts. He's like my only friend besides these two.
That's so sad.
Aw, Harry.
But it's true. I'm not sad about it. Anyway, he comes up and helps out for the concours. And he's got a lot of experience with carpentry, which helped us tremendously.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was funny because he loves this stuff just like us. Like when in the moment it's rough, but when you reflect on it, it's like
It was
we
nuts.
just got to do what we got to do.
It was.
But he literally I at one point left to get the trailer because we filled the trailer up, and by the time I came back, he was like 200 yards down.
Wow.
And he was like, yeah, I mean,
Dude,
it was
Roger was in
nuts.
the zone.
Well,
He was in the
Shout
zone.
out
You
to
could
Roger.
not
Dude,
stop him.
Roger and Henry's dad, Roger.
Henry's
were there
dad
for
and all the other
hours.
volunteers.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was just like literally like 5,000 screws.
It was. I've been here for a long time, as the three of us have collectively. It was the most incredible thing I've ever seen anyone do in this company, or probably ever, to build that in such a short amount of time with that manpower. I mean, yeah, you had people to help, but it's not like it was huge. It wasn't like there was 100 people doing it in
Well,
an
that's why you're
assembly
cleaning
line.
it up.
Yeah.
Get your screw
Yeah,
gun.
were we at the beach?
Yeah. No, it was nuts. But we would do it again, obviously. And it was funny because throughout the day I thought I would be, I would check on it through the day. I would drill screws in that were loosening, or it's something you got to get ahead of, because the cars also have to leave.
Well, you don't want a screw to come up.
You don't want
and
the
pop
screws
a
to come up,
tire, or
but you also don't want the boards to break. You don't want. It was
people
just
to
like
trip. Yeah,
and I
huge
don't have we don't have
liability.
experience in this. We just, as long as we were getting ahead of it, it would be
No.
fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was funny. At one point, I was making some adjustments to it. I don't know, sometime later in the day or before the concours, and a guy came up to me who is an entrant, and he was like, a number of years ago, this happened at Greenwich, like where it rained, and they just like threw boards down, and he was like, it was a disaster,
Mhm.
and it was like, cars were getting damaged, and
Well, that was one of my
and
concerns.
that was our main concern.
Yeah, loose
And-
screws and
And he was like, and it was a disaster. He goes, this is like beyond. And he was like, people couldn't believe it.
Wow.
we wouldn't have had a show. And it's like it's one of those things. You're either fully committed to having it,
Or you don't
after
have
a
it at
year
all.
of planning it,
Yeah.
or you just cancel it and wash it and do it
Which-
next year. It's not something
which
you can just
isn't
push
an
back a
option.
day. I mean, these are people who are traveling around the world
Yeah.
to make this happen. Like,
And-
they have commitments.
And everyone was happy, and the cars on the field were incredible. It was a windy day, but no one seemed to be bothered by it. There was plenty of blankets, coffee,
I think
food.
the weather, well, from a filming standpoint, when things are a little bit more overcast, things look better on camera anyway.
So how is Sunday gonna look?
Our promotional material looks really good.
It's great. Sam's here right now, but he really should be in the editing studio.
You're gonna see me wearing boots and holding a screw gun the entire video.
Sean the Builder.
Sean
Can
the
you
Builder.
fix it?
Yeah, I pulled out the Carhartt overalls for that night, so things got real.
Oh yeah. Big
Yeah,
deal.
this show on Sunday was, it was the best that we've had all 3 years. The cars that were there,
And it was seamless.
it was, but we have to talk about that Alpha 33 Stradale.
Oh, the Stradale. So the funny thing is I saw that in it where it lives. Like I went to the collection and toured.
Okay.
And I never take pictures of cars, as you know. Like I just don't. I don't know. I don't use really social media. I don't take pictures.
Well, you're
of
the
things.
old guy here.
But like I don't ever. Like I see, like I just don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like kind of like a moment kind of person. And when I first saw it, when I was on the
Did you
tour, and
take a
I
little
took a little picture of that car.
Sure.
Because it's like, when am I going to see that again? And of course,
Yeah.
it's at our Concours,
Yeah.
right?
I've seen two of them. I'll just
Okay, of course.
Great.
Just like whenever we were talking about the CLK GTR, I was like, I've seen like 5 of them.
I've seen two of those too.
Seen all of them. Got the register.
But that car, I didn't see it run.
The sound. Oh my god.
Oh, it sounds.
I have a video.
It sounds like an old F1 car.
I have a video
that's how
of
you
it.
describe it as.
And it is one of the greatest sounding cars ever. It's a race car, so like the guy was revving it not to rev it, but like literally so it wouldn't get flooded and so it wouldn't stall.
Yeah, you got to be above.
And he's coming up like there's a crowd of kids surrounding it. Like, I'll go off on a very small tangent. The world is going electric, but I do not think that anything can compare to a 1960s race car engine that is straight piped.
I don't know. I love a Chevy Volt.
Sounds good and has that vibration that you feel in your chest when you're next to it. Like,
oh, the thing is,
well,
bananas.
I cannot imagine driving that thing.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the greatest driving experience ever. What a car.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I'm so happy that came.
Yeah.
That
I
was
saw
crazy.
it and like
2 ATSs. There was 8 of them.
2 ATSs and the ATS
And the ATS race
F1
car.
how about the Nether
Moriana.
Cup?
And then the
Nether Cup
Stradale.
Bugatti.
Oh, the Nether Cup Bugatti.
That
was
thing
like,
is
God, with that
absurd.
fan down the
it was
back.
nuts. I couldn't stop looking. That class, that entire class, I think I'd be like walking around and I'd just get like a gravitational pull to go look at those cars. I think I probably looked at them like 6 times.
Ugh.
I couldn't. I mean, it was like absurd. And then everything
All
was
in Newport, Rhode Island.
yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, for us as kids growing up in Rhode Island, the fact that this is now here, I never would have thought
I still think it's
15 years
crazy.
ago that this would be in
I've
Rhode
probably
Island.
told the story twice on the podcast, but I tell it all the time. Like
Yeah.
when I was interning here in 2017, I would go to car shows like half an hour from here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
hand
and
out
like the Lowe's
brochures.
parking lot.
Yeah, and like
Warwick.
no one would know the museum exists.
Yeah.
And now it's like a top 5 destination in the car world.
Yeah.
Like without a doubt, it's that good. I mean, dude, we just did the recorded with Parker, Vehicle Virgins. He was here. Jay's here. We got another big time YouTuber coming in about a week or 2.
Yep.
It's like people are the moment. You can feel the
It's
momentum starting to go.
It's starting to compound.
Yeah,
It's not like
kicking
there
up again.
wasn't, but now it's like
It's like serious. Now it's
Yeah.
really getting into action. So I mean, it's cool to see all that. We work hard at this to make sure we
Yeah.
provide a good experience and make sure everybody's
It's
happy
fun.
and
It's
it's
cool.
It's starting to move along.
It's cool to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But overall, I think
And
the week was
it was a great week.
It was a great
And the car that
success.
won Best in Show is a super cool story.
Unbelievable, great story.
We stored the car at
Park Place.
Dude,
at Park
the
Place,
family's
and
had it for 40 years.
I had like no idea. Like I was like, oh, this is an amazing Bentley. I love this thing. Next thing you know, it's Best in Show.
They've
And
had it
it's
for
like,
40 years.
Yeah,
What
such a great story. The guy-
you can't make it up.
the guy
He
who
was-
had it was so humble.
And he was like, I've been working on this
Awesome
car
guy.
since I was 8 years old. Just such a cool story, and obviously a phenomenal car. So
many great stories. There was the Ford Mustang there. There was an Indy pace car.
yeah, that one was
yeah,
really
that thing
cool.
was
That won
epic.
Best in Class,
Sounded
right?
car-
Did that win Best in Class?
I
think it did.
can't
yeah.
tell you, but that car.
Steve's agreeing with me.
Steve's a Mustang guy. He'll know about this. This was like the Ford Mustang pace car.
It was one of the very first Mustangs to roll.
Oh, we got a mic.
Oh, look, behind
We're
the
going to have a
scenes.
Sam and Steve cam from now on.
Yeah, we should.
Based off of the guy's story, is one of the very first Mustangs to roll off the assembly line, and they needed a pace car.
Doesn't he?
They slapped a GT40 engine in it.
GT40 engine in
What?
this
Yeah,
like narrow
yeah,
body
yeah.
64.
I didn't realize
Does have a
that.
GT40
Yeah, dude.
engine.
It is
No
the,
way.
the family bought it for like $1,200 to save it from a scrapyard,
Wow.
and that family has had it since.
When was this?
Ford has tried to. This was in like the '60s, dude.
Yeah,
And
it's gotta-
Ford
yeah, it's
needs
gotta
that
be
car.
Ford needs that
63
car,
or
and they
something
won't
like
sell
that.
it, and it has to be a $10 to $15 million Mustang. It
Wow.
has to be.
I
It's the
had
most.
no-
It's the most important
I had no
Ford
clue.
Mustang in history. That thing started up, and it's like,
Where-
whoa,
where
like,
does it
okay,
live?
this is loud. I don't know. I'm sure we can figure it out, but
That's insane.
These
'Cause
Ford
I
Mustangs,
saw it drive. I was
Amelia-
like, I remember I was
Yeah.
talking to Evan Knight. I was like, oh, that's a really cool Ford Mustang. I think it just won best in class.
It's really it's above. It's beyond cool. Amelia Earhart's Cord was here.
Oh my
yeah,
God!
that was-
Yes,
that
I've
was
seen that car at
spectacular.
Pebble. That's done
Yeah.
the rounds.
that's a cool car.
I mean, the Bugatti Teardrop, the Alpha 8C. I mean, these are creme de la creme cars. It's
Yeah.
like you can't
Epic
you
cars.
can't just go to Pebble any year and see these cars. Like
Yeah.
you have to
I
convince
had
people
no idea
to
about
bring
that
them
Mustang though.
out. I'm telling you, it's the Mustang, the Mustang
Oh,
of Mustang.
that's so cool.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
How cool is that?
and then the guy.
And it's like no one would have known. It's like there's so many stories to tell. It's like there's only one day.
Well, speaking of the GT40, the guy who brought the GT40 did the tour.
Yeah, Johnny.
Unfortunately,
Great guy.
during the tour, he went through a big puddle and it messed up the
Coil
electronics,
packs.
the coil
Yeah.
pack.
She's a broke.
She's a broke.
No problem.
But the car
Big
still
problem.
made it to the breakers. It was perfectly cleaned. Alex Safinsky and I think you and some of the other volunteers pushed it up on the stage when it won its award. And I believe that guy was representing 6 or 7 cars.
Yeah, he had his hands full. He was
That's
up all night. He was
crazy.
exhausted, but they got all the cars there. He told me directly. I won't say his exact words, but he was very thankful,
Yeah,
very appreciative.
he's
of
coming
our,
back forever.
He'll be back. I mean, his family has a great collection, both on the East Coast and in near LA. And he told me basically the gist was, this is our favorite show now.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
We'll be
amazing.
back
That's
for
cool.
life, and it's comforting to hear
Bold
that.
words after
Yeah.
the rain took
Yeah.
out the GT40.
Yeah, he
Good
said
for
it was
him.
he said
That's
it was
awesome.
Rhode Island's biggest puddle.
Oh, probably
that thing was
was.
probably scuba diving through the puddle.
Probably
of
was.
Well, I'm
GT40.
glad we were able to reflect on it. It was fun, and
It was fun.
we're able to get some
Yeah,
sleep now.
yep,
But
yeah.
from what I understand, Sam, we have a little game.
There's a game.
Yep.
Let's hear it.
I
There
wanna
is a
know.
game.
Oh,
Oh, there's a phone too.
thank you. I'm not going to
Where's
say
my
anything
phone?
inappropriate, am I?
Where's my phone?
You don't get a phone. Sorry.
We
You
made a
shall share.
podcast.
How are we supposed to
Are
share?
we guessing?
phone.
Are
Let me
we
see.
guessing gear shifters?
You guys are going to be guessing interior trim bits and
We are
bobs.
doing
placing
knob
them to a car.
identification.
Okay, I already know one of them. Like the
Let me
name
see.
of the car, or
Yeah, tell us the name of the car based on the close-up
Okay.
photo.
That's the third one's a spiker.
We'll go in order,
Well,
please.
yeah, that's the easiest.
haven't
thing
even
I've
seen
ever
it
That's
yet.
the
in my
first one
life.
I saw.
Antonio is a knob specialist.
Hold on, let me look.
Wait, stop that. You're trying to get a hold of me, knob.
I can't wait till we get our Steve and Sam cam.
Steve,
It's gonna be my favorite aspect of the podcast.
This guy. He's being a
I
hog.
don't like this
Just
game.
go in order. Show everyone the first
Okay.
picture.
Let's see the phone.
Barry, we're losing viewership by the hundreds.
Sorry, I'm my. All right, so how do I do this? I just
Oh
have to.
my
I have
God.
to pick it up.
Dude, all right,
Like
we're
this?
never giving the oldest guy the
I
technology
go like that.
ever again.
What do I go like this?
I
Can I
already
see
have
it?
the pictures.
Oh.
You
Sam's
just need
got
to
the
look
pictures.
at it.
Well, let's have it in the middle.
I could be a boomer.
You
I think
are
you
a
are a
boomer.
boomer.
Okay.
That's a French car.
What do we
'Cause Sam.
What do we think this one is? The first one.
Talk into the mic.
We're allowed to be on the same team here, right? Or do we have to?
I mean,
No, we're all on the same team.
you're
for
against
this.
each
Okay,
other. but
we're on the same team.
It's us against Steve and Sam.
Okay, the first one.
Yeah.
The first one is a Mercedes because it says Mercedes-Benz right there.
I knew it.
Any guesses on
Is it a
what
Sprinter,
kind?
Sprinter van?
No, let me see.
No, it's an S-Class.
You won't even let me look.
You had the phone for like 15 minutes. Oh my God.
It's got camo like
It's a
trim.
Maybach. It's the
probably
Drake.
like it's probably
no,
like
no.
the Maybach.
This is the
S65.
Drake DJ Khaled Maybach Land Delay.
No, this is an old one. This is a early 2000s. This could be like a
Maybach.
It's early 2000s,
Maybach
early to mid
by
2000s. But I don't know.
Steve's
I don't
wearing
know.
glasses
I don't know which
inside. I
one
really
it
get a
is.
Steve and Sam.
Next
fan,
one.
Like ASAP.
What is it?
That was a 2001 Mercedes CL. It came with a granite trim option.
I like that granite trim.
option.
What would I do without Sam?
we got this one?
So the shifter's coming like out of the dashboard.
Whoa.
That's not a Fiat 500, is it?
No, let me
That's a
look.
knob. Let me see that knob.
It's like a Honda Element.
Oh, I know this.
It's coming out of the dashboard.
Wait, I see a little logo there. Oh. I saw it. Ignore.
What is it?
I know, I can read.
I
don't know what year
I
it
can't
is.
read.
We're taking too long. What is that?
This is a
No, we know
spiker.
that. We're on this one.
Fiat Multipla.
Is it the Multipla?
It is a multiple.
Okay.
I'm really good at this.
You're
stuff.
good.
Spiker next.
Spiker. Is the next one a GT 500?
It is a Mustang.
Is it the new Mustang?
Sure, I don't know.
It's the
a Mustang.
Steve told me to put it in. Steve is a Mustang guy.
Customizable dash.
That is a.
This is.
It's a round.
Is this a
Is that a Grand
C4
National?
Vet?
Which, the one after the Mustang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grand National.
It is not.
Not a C4 Vet.
I can't see anything.
We all need phones next time. He's getting a little hot
That's
under
a
the collar.
GT40.
What? No, we're still on the
The one below that's GT40.
We're still on the one above the one that we were below.
It's terrible.
The phone is killing me.
Barry learns how to use a phone.
Man worked at Tesla.
Yeah, seriously. You worked at like the
Is
tech
this
company.
a Chevy?
I would know Barry.
Yeah, because we don't
It
have
was a
the phone.
Lagonda, okay?
That was a Lagonda. The next one's a GT40.
Yes, the next one is a GT40.
And that is...
Oh, this is what is this? BMW Z8?
No.
No.
Oh, that's a V60. Oh.
Oh yes, it's a
can't see
Volvo.
anything. You won't show
V70,
me
but close enough.
It's a Volvo. That's a Volvo. Is this an NSX?
No.
What is that? You haven't seen the phone once, and I think you've gotten the most guesses.
Me and Sam tag teamed on this. I paid him for the answers.
Well, if that's true, why are you getting so many wrong?
I don't know this one.
I have a bad memory.
It's a 300ZX.
Oh,
300ZX.
Matt, what's your passcode?
Oh my gosh.
We're never doing the phone again.
What, you don't trust me?
We're gonna lose all our subscribers. Our
The
YouTube's
podcast
gonna
is going
tank.
so well
The
until
podcast
we
is
get
going
to
so
this.
well.
Podcast.
You're having so much fun.
I don't know what this is.
It's a 300ZX.
see.
He said it.
This is the 300ZX?
Which?
This one.
The little knobby knob.
Yeah.
What if I hold it like this, and then we can all see it?
That's like a Cadillac
It's a big
Eldorado
luxury
from
car.
like the 80s.
Is this a German car?
It's a big American car, and
Is
it's
it-
from like the...
is it-
What is it?
It's got this bird. I have no idea what this one is.
It's a Toyota Century.
Toyota Cent.
Oh, is that the one that they only sell in...
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's like the
luxury
Rolls
one.
Royce
That's
of
a
What is,
Rivian.
what
Toyota.
is this?
It's a Rivian.
This is a Rivian?
No.
What?
Oh,
Oh, is it i3?
Yes.
it's an i3.
Good
Wow,
job.
good job.
I got one.
Wow, Barry's good.
Okay, this one has a diff selector on it.
If you're watching this, don't worry. There's only 20 more.
That's not an STI, is it? No.
No, that's like 80s.
Is it
Tech.
an Audi
Quattro?
Is it the Audi like the Quattro rally car, the road version?
RS2.
RS2.
Very
okay.
close.
Close.
That's what I said.
And the last one, you better get if you know me.
Is it a Skoda?
I wish I can't remember Sam's name.
Skoda Sam.
What kind of Skoda is it?
It is a Felicia Fun.
Felicia.
Oh.
Best car ever.
Wow.
All All right,
need a picture.
we'll get the
So-
game thing down.
So what
Yeah,
this
yeah.
proves is that the 3 car guys are not car guys because we didn't know any of this.
we got 'em. We got some of them.
I would
Sam is hard.
I think we're good. I think the
I
infrastructure
think you need
here
to
is
dumb down
just
the game
a
by
little-
several points for the next time.
Yeah.
And also, Sean needs like an iPad, but like a kid-proof iPad.
no, I need big screen.
Our next game is going to be which piece of equipment have we added to the set every time, and if you can
Ooh.
guess, you get a
We
prize.
always have
so
more equipment.
maybe next week we'll have a projector screen.
That'd be cool.
Nice little.
And
But
IMAX
anyway,
Max
yeah.
has its own projector.
Concours was fabulous.
Concours
We're
was
wrapping
fabulous.
it up.
I want to give a shout out.
Concours was fabulous. There's too many shout outs to give, I think.
I want to give a shout out to the boys: Alex, Louie, Steve, Anthony, Shaheen, Jed, Henry, Big Roger, Sean Roger,
All the volunteers.
Roy Rogers.
There was so many.
All of the
Unreal. We had
volunteers.
like 200
Unreal.
volunteers, dude. Thank
It
you
would
all.
not be possible without the volunteers. Every year, and all the volunteers that come out to Cars and Coffee, and all of the volunteers and docents that are in the museum. I mean, these people are so dedicated and so willing, and it would not be possible without them. And I think they deserve a huge round of applause. So it's awesome. The awesome people who come out to help us.
Heartfelt. Can't say. I have no words. It's dedication.
It is.
Means a lot.
Well, I think that's a good place to end.
Yes, sir.
Sean, next time we play a game, you get your own iPad.
Thank
This
you.
is not on Sean. I'm going to put this on Steve.
Steve.
It's not on
I need an
Steve.
iPad.
Steve?
Thank you. Maybe an
Steve.
iMac. No problem. No,
No
problem.
problem
I'm picking
Boulevard.
up at No Problem Boulevard. Share with your mother. I want your mother watching this.
Okay, that's
I
weird.
think she would really enjoy
That's
seeing
just-
our smiling faces.
That's just weird. So,
Hi, Mom.
well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. For those of you listening, head over to our YouTube channel so you can see the horrible game that we just played because we're not good car people.
Dude, wait for the next few weeks.
Yeah, the next.
Dude, the next few weeks,
Yeah,
I literally
yeah.
can't. It's
we
going
have
to be crazy.
some big guests
Huge guests
coming on the podcast, which I think is really exciting. A lot of fun for us as a group. I think we really enjoyed recording those.
Yes, it was fun.
We'll catch you in the next one.
We will.
Or not. Maybe we won't. Maybe we will. But we'll be here. If you're not here,
You want to do
that's fine.
You want
I
to do
will
a
still be
subscriber
here.
promo? Barry, sit the
requiring-
fuck down.
Barry, sit.
Hold on.
Stay.